Shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up. Ooh, we shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up. Ooh, we shakin' shit up. Shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up. Ooh, we shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up, shakin' shit up. Ooh, we shakin' shit up.
What's good? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shakin Shit Up. Woo-wee. Hope you had a good day. I am feeling it. For those of you who don't know, Shaking Shit Up is about sharing stories, creativity, and exploring the messages within them. This event is the fire breathing conversation you want after you hear some dope shit. So, welcome. My name is Sharon Nyree Williams, and I will be the host with for you today with my friend. Come on in, Michael B. Maine.
What up, Sharon? How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling present,
Mm.
relatively relaxed for somebody who's pressing a bunch of buttons. But most importantly, I'm feeling grateful, feeling glad to be here, and it's always good to see your face.
Always, always. What's top of mind for you uh on this Thursday?
Top of mind on this Thursday. Oof. No, I've actually been thinking about my cousin quite a bit lately.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's top of mind.
That's top of mind. He
Yeah.
okay? He all right?
No, that I didn't want to go into it because he was killed when I was 17. No,
Oh,
I'm okay. I'm okay. But I've been thinking like now he would have been in his 40s, and
mm,
I've been thinking about him quite a bit. Like who would he have been now and
mm.
everything. So he's been on my mind for a little bit the past couple days. Yeah.
Yo, I totally understand that. I
Hmm.
get that. You never know when that person that you love that you haven't seen in forever and have gone to the other side,
Hmm.
when they're gonna pop up in your mind, and you just gotta honor that
Yeah.
moment. It's
Yep.
all
Yep.
good.
What's
Uh,
top of mind for you this Thursday?
what's top of mind? Thank you for asking.
Hmm.
Top of mind for me is Delaware State University Hornets
Mm.
lacrosse team. I don't know if you saw the news, but they were coming from a match in Georgia, and uh, they pulled them over. The police, troopers pulled them over, and for some lane violation, saying that the bus isn't supposed to be in the left lane, and then basically got on the bus and was like, "Yo, y'all have anything on here y'all not supposed to have?" Because marijuana is illegal in the state of Georgia, and then went through all the women's stuff. And
Mm.
then when they was called out about it, said we didn't do that. And the video from on the bus, the video that they had on, the video that they had on from their body cams showed the story. And so the president, Tony Allen, is getting in on them like, yo, what's going on? Why y'all harass our girls? And so I just want to give love to the Delaware State University lacrosse team and all my Hornet family. So, I usually wear my Team Sharon shirt, but I had to represent today to let them know I'm with them. DSU to the day I
That's
die.
what's up. That's what's up.
uh,
Thanks for sharing the love, Sharon.
it's all good. But we're gonna have a great time tonight. Cause you and I went to Richmond for a conference,
Hmm.
and we met some great people. And one
Hmm.
of the people that we met is why both of the people that we met, one person said he had a twin brother, and we was like, y'all both artists? What? We gotta have them on the show. So uh yeah, so Thank you, Michael. We'll bring you back a little bit later, but let me get down to introduce
Noodles.
my guest and giving a shout out to Kimberly, who said, ooh wee, SSU, because she won't say shaking shit up. But I love you, cuz. And then Sandra agreeing with me. Ditto, Sandra. Yeah, that was fucked up with the lacrosse team. I hope the university sues their asses. No doubt. Thank you, Sandra. So, tonight, y'all, like I said, me and Michael had an opportunity. Yeah. Danita is in the building. Yes. Danita, shout out Richmond VAAA is in the building. So we were in Richmond, and I have to give a shout out to my cousin who said, you represent Richmond tonight? uh, Guy and Brent, my Uncle Willie and Walida and Miss Helen, all in Richmond. Um, and Shamik and Elia and Elora and Giovanni. Shout out to my fam in Richmond, holding it down. Love y'all, no doubt. But yeah, so we met this great. We went out there for a conference, and we'll talk about that a little later. I'll let Matthew tell y'all about that when he comes on. And coming to the table, RVA, Richmond, Virginia. That's who we was out there with, and we left there with Woodby, organization out of Woodby Island here in Seattle called Thriving Community, and they came together to do a conference, and I was invited as a guest, and we had a really good time. Met some really good folks. So let's get this party started. Um, Matthew Hayzes is a digital artist and animator for the Illustrator's Corner and a member of the tag team twin duo, the Hayzes. Matthew says, my intention is to share how the process of art can also be your process. I use my art to process and release complicated feelings, critical thoughts, or simple contemplations. Practicing art helps develop a surprisingly necessary level of patience within me while playing an essential role in my life's excitement and joy. In his youth, he wrestled with the idea of being a creative person. No matter how aesthetically pleasing he was, never satisfied with the truth, he believed that art was meant to be a breakneck affair where you put all your time in and received only a glimpse of repose. And eventually, in what some might call the prime of his life, he just stopped practicing. He thought that the thing inside him making him want to create would stop. But boy, was he wrong. He found himself engaging in secretly creative work to pass time. It didn't require a pencil or paint, so he had covertly occupied his time reliving his artistic nature. So, what made him start over? Well, Matthew says it was the law of attraction. That's right. He started to see parallels from his life in the entertainment that he consumed, and eventually his desire to create was stimulated. Finally, he realized that his joy came from creating, not time off. And the more he ignored it, the more he searched for a substitute. He was hooked, engraved, marked, if you will. It's this that simple, simply complicated, yet complicatedly simple idea that attracts him to hone his craft. He wants the viewer of his illustrations to be viscerally impacted through the wielding of his pen, the making of a mark. The Illustrator's Corner is a space that reflects the stimulation of his nature, the act of surrounding his resistance towards his growth, and most importantly, his joy. Whether you are an artist or connoisseur, here in the Illustrator's Corner, the objective is to attract your artistic fascination, make your mark. Coming to the table, shaking shit up, is Matthew Hayes. What's good?
Hey, how you doing there?
Good. How are you doing? It's nice to see you again.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad to be here. You know, I
Mhm.
just heard my speech. Inspired, and I'll tell you, it really makes you feel good, especially coming from you. So
Oh,
I'm glad to be here and share myself with you guys.
yo, so we met a couple weeks ago in Richmond. Tell us a little bit about coming to the table.
Oh yeah, so this is it was an excellent time. It was a great time to meet you guys. Through thriving communities. Uh, I work with Coming to the Table, which is a private, well, excuse me, nonprofit uh, community here and nonprofit organization. What we do is work on racial rehabilitation and speaking about bringing the conversation together. So when we talk, we say that we want to place everything in a form of a circle where there's no head and no bottom, and no bottom. Yeah, of course. So we want to make sure everybody feels as if they have the same space, on that in that circle. So we say we are coming to the table, and we have a place, of equality. When it comes down to our organization, I always share with people of my generation. I say, how many times have you had a chance to speak with anyone of the other race and have a good conversation come out of that? Most people tell me not really, not often. So I say this is an awesome place for you to come meet new people, share your stories in a safe space, and of course, make sure that you're able to be heard as well as be able to share, or listen to other people's stories as well.
That's
So
awesome. Well, thank you for sharing all of that information about coming to the table, Richmond, VA. But yo, when I asked you to tell me three things about you, you said my art is a meditative process that helps me keep me aware. In order to learn digital art, I reset my foundation and relearned everything I knew about drawing. I love doing murals because I get to collaborate with one of my favorite artists, my brother Andrew.
yes,
Oh.
yes, ma'am.
So it sounds like from reading your story and reading what you share with us today that you've been on like this roller coaster ride going back and forth. Am I an artist or am I not an artist?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that's exactly the process that I've had to, that I've just had to experience my entire life. I
It's
come
fine.
from a family of
Emily.
creators. And you could tell I have a twin brother who has these exact same, feelings that I have growing up, but a different story, and for a very good reason. He has a different growth to it. But I learned from my mother, who is an artist, and she's a single mother. So when it came down to that, our entire income was made off of my mother being an artist. So you
Wow.
have to understand, yeah, it's like we we grew up as artists, before anything else. Me and Andrew, I mean, that was what we were first. You look at LeBron and his kids now, right? And what? He's the biggest and best basketball player of all time, right? His kids are basketball players, right? Of course, you have the freedom to do whatever you want, but it's also a part of you.
It's
So
in
that's
your
how I,
blood. It's in your
yes.
blood. And Simone says yes. And she says, Matthew. That's a no doubt.
How you doing, Simone? Thank
No doubt. Yes, and to everyone that's new to Shaking Shit Up as well, put your put your thoughts in the comments and we'll try our best to get them up on the screen. You can ask direct questions to the artist, you can ask direct questions to me, or you can just make a statement like Simone just did. No diggity, no doubt. But thank you, Matthew. I have to introduce your twin right now. You know what I'm saying? I think
Oh yeah.
this is the first for Shaking Shit Up to have twins on the show. So we about to do it
Doing
up. All right. I see you in a few. Cool. Andrew Hayes is a graduate of the University of Miami. Andrew, better known as Hayes, is a local Miami street artist. As the son of an artist early in his career, Hayes struggled with the decision to become an artist due to a lack of appreciation of art and popular culture. An entrepreneur of sorts, Hayes has spent years developing a fashion brand with his unique designs and slogan, Be You, at the center. Known for his bold use of color and balloon characters, the Hayes brand is redefining the brand to consumer relationship. I am a seeker. Andrew says, I am a seeker of freedom and a visual storyteller. My motivation is centered around freedom and authenticity. My work can be summarized by the message, Be You. The work is anchored by a desire for a world with no limits and a relentless pursuit of new and original designs. My time is spent observing my art is a mirror to society that highlights moments of freedom or lack thereof. Much of my work is not limited to traditional canvas, rather spread across mediums such as fashion, textiles, graphic design, and of course, painting. In my most recent series of paintings titled Happy Places, I utilize what could be perceived as a very limited color palette. Using these imposed restrictions, I challenge myself and the viewer to ponder the true nature of freedom. All the paintings in monochromatic, with the exception of one small portion of the subject matter, which is the happy place. The series of 8 paintings explores the nature of light through a prism. Each individual painting is a different color of the rainbow, with the finale being a white painting that explores the infinite options color and value create. In my search for freedom within creativity, I have chosen to use the balloon as a representative of freedom. The balloon signifies the ability to rise above or our self imposed restraints and float confidently out of insecurity and fear. The faces depicted serve to humanize our emotions and encourage comfort with our discomfort. Yo, welcome to Shaking Shit Up because he is shaking shit up. Andrew,
What
hey,
it do?
what's
What
good?
it do?
Oh, okay,
Yo,
I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Simone says, Andrew. And
hey,
then
I see you,
okay,
Simone.
I can't do that one. That you gotta do that you one. Yeah.
It's all about it. It's all about it, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bleed it. You live it. You love it. You bleed it. Or what are you? What you doing? What are we doing? What are we
Okay,
talking about?
okay.
This is Championship City. This ship city. You know what I'm saying? It has been
Ah.
for a while, but it don't really matter. Where all the ballers come from? Where do all the real ballers come from?
That is my nephew. Wait a minute. Sorry, y'all. That has never happened. Hold on. I can't get my mouse back. There it is. Decline. That's. Let
We
me
shaking
tell
it
you.
up. Shaking
I'm
shit
like
up.
singing,
Shaking
and
shit
then
up.
screen.
Yeah.
That is my nephew Ahmad calling from Charlotte. He was trying to
Okay.
FaceTime you. Oh, Ahmad, I'm sorry, y'all. That has never happened. That's live right there. Um, so yes, so Simone said whoop whoop, and Deaf Dancer said Andrew.
Oh, wow. What it do, Wade?
That's what's up. I love it.
Yeah.
Andrew, uh, yo, you talk a lot about freedom and bringing out freedom in your work. Yo, how did you come to that for real?
Well, I am, I guess, a glutton for punishment.
Mm,
Um, I like to put myself in positions and make things happen that people tell me I can't do. I don't know why. It can be toxic at times. But what I can say is that I've always felt that I needed to do something my own. I don't know why I felt that way. I've always felt that way. And once I graduated college, it was hard for me to really decide what I wanted to do. I was asked all the time, what would you do for free? And I was like, I don't know. But what I knew I wanted to do was something exciting because I couldn't sit behind a desk all day. And funny enough, I had been painting and working in college, just creating fashion, right? And painting for people, whoever wanted a shirt, they'd buy a shirt from me and I'd paint. So I guess I decided I didn't want to be constrained by anything. And ultimately, when I looked at it, freedom had to be it, you know?
That's awesome. Yo,
So
Deaf Dancer said one day you are going to draw me a masterpiece of me in a dance pose. Can't wait.
looking forward to that. That would be dope. That not would. Sorry, that will be dope. That's gonna be fly. We gonna. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see that as well. So, when I asked you 3 things that you wanted people to know about you, you said, I would start coughing right now. I believe people live happier, more fulfilled lives when they are free to be themselves. So be you. I think that people who are foolish enough to believe they can change the world are usually the ones who do. I like to jump right to work and forget about tradition. I'm a risk taker who likes to follow my heart and figure things out as I go. Yo, how did you build up this armor?
A lot of shots. I'll tell you this. I am usually not the guy that stands out, but I am pretty dogged about when I want something. And so when I realized that I really wanted this, it was easy. It was easy. It wasn't always easy to keep going, but it was easy to get back up, and try again. And you gotta love it, You gotta love it. I'll say, like, one of my first days in college, I went to school for music, right? And they told us, they said, if you can do anything else, please go do that now.
Wow.
And I was like really stubborn about myself. I was like, I paid all this money. You're not going to tell me. I know I'm talented. You're not going to tell me. And so I dug my heels in.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I'm really glad I did, because it taught me a lot. So yeah, here we are, doing something different, but always something the same.
Yo, I love it. You inspire me, man. Real talk. Both of y'all inspire me. Yo, let's bring Matthew back. Matthew. So, for everyone who haven't seen the show before, how this works is Matthew will share a piece and tell us the story that he wants to tell us about that piece. And then me, Andrew, and Michael will talk about it and say what it comes up for us. And after that, we'll do the reverse. Andrew will share a piece and we'll talk about it. That's it. That's how we have fun here on Shakin Shit Up. And I'm so mad at my body right now. We was on
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Hour before, and I did not cough. And
just allergies.
It just worked. So, and so, Michelle is trying to jump in real quick. Thank you, Michelle. But we're going to hold your question for a second. And we are going to start with Matthew. And Matthew, what piece would you like to kick us off with?
Oh yeah. We have it in order, so I think I got this one right here. This is a piece that I have as a collaboration. So let's see here. If you look at the first of the picture to the left, I was in a space where I was feeling really impressionistic, and I was still learning how to do this whole what do you call it, digital art to begin with. But I was feeling strongly about the issues that were going on in during the black upheaval, I would say, in Richmond. We were having riots and a number of different things once the the Capitol got attacked. So I started to go back and think about Trayvon Martin, and this is what came out of it. From there, I wanted to drag him into my own personal style, so I took him and I made him a superhero. And by adding on to that, I gave him the power of our Zulu warriors. So I gave him some strength behind gave him strength into what I've grown into as of 2022.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Let's bring Hayes back on. Hayes, what comes up for you when you see your brother's work?
Well, I just see, some real dark days. And, I really see a way to take those things and flip them. Because, that's what we do. And I think that is, it's so strong to me, and you can see what happens in the superhero representation. It's really powerful, right? It shows you, I guess, duality among two sides of the same coin, and it's a strong juxtaposition, I guess, between two personality types. So I find it very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
to chime in on that. I see, I feel the same way. I felt very hazed. First came out, right? I mean, so I was feeling, like I said, I was going impressionistic wise with that. And then, I felt at one point I didn't even want to finish. I didn't finish that bottom part of the body because I just felt like there was so much left, there was so much that was unsure. That's what I was feeling. So I couldn't finish, putting anything there. And then on the second piece, I felt clearer. So when I made this character and I made him into his strength, I've been telling people recently, one of the main things about my art is I make these heroes because I'm showing my own strength through it. I clearly gave him, that brown background because he, I wanted to show the power behind the skin. So
like that. Michael B. Maine, I'm gonna bring your voice in on this one. What comes up for you when you see these and you hear these stories that Matthew is saying about why he created this?
The stories are really meaningful for me. Like when I first see the work, I like the work, and I especially appreciate some of the whimsy that I see in there. Like there's always a playfulness, it seems like, with Matthew in general. Like and I appreciate the I appreciate the duality and the complexity of Matthew as a person, because there's a lot of depth and seriousness, and then there's also levity, light, and whimsy at the same time. And I see that represented in this work also. And I just think it's beautiful. When I look at it, I like it. I see myself represented in these pieces. And growing up, I actually never read comics or watched comic strips or comics or anything, and it never felt like. And people were always like, "Why don't you ever watch any of these superhero comics or anything?" I was like, "I don't know, none of them really."
Bars.
Yeah, like I ain't feeling none of them, you know. So and so it's
Unless
cool
it
to
was
see. It's cool to see some stuff where I'm like, oh, if I saw work that looked like this, I would have been into it a lot sooner. So that's what's coming up for me right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And it's funny for me that my nephew interrupted the show and tried to call me, and I just, when I see these and I think of him, I think that, I'm glad that there's artists out there like you, Matthew, that is making us into superheroes, and that you've taken a situation and you've taken a person like a Trayvon Martin and made him into something strong and mighty, and the representation of that. And I think our young men need to see this, and our young women, right? All of us need to know that we can take a bad situation and become mighty and raise up and be our own superheroes. And so I really do appreciate that. Our friend Ray Aquino is giving you all the hands up, and then Simone is over there. I know she's in the house getting it in. So really do appreciate that. And Def Dancer said, "Hey Matthew, my brother." And so well, thank you, Matthew, for sharing the first piece with us. And now we will move on to Andrew's first piece. Let's go, Andrew. The floor is yours.
Well, so this piece, I'm pretty much a space cadet. I'm always infatuated with what's going on outside of myself. I tend to people watch, and so I was just playing around with what it would look like to really be free. And I thought it was really funny because everything I do is usually very cartoonish, and I like the fact that this was playful, because that's what I really that's how I feel about being free. It's probably a really good time, so yeah.
Ray Aquino said, "I love the color. Can you talk about like what made you make it so bright and vibrant?"
Oh, well, that's what I'm most comfortable with. The brighter, the more exciting, the happier a piece can be, because I think that a lot of the times we can take things and make them really bitter, and ultimately I like sweet more than I like sour, and I think that you can take down a little bit it goes down with a little bit of sugar a lot better. So that's really why I like to paint in bright, exciting colors, because who has ever felt happy while they're depressed?
Right. Simone said, "Fire."
Thank you, Simone.
Matthew, what comes up for you when you look at your brother's work?
Well, I think it's an awesome picture because it does show, like my boy Michael said, levity. And when I say levity, I mean off the ground. Yeah, the truth is that the idea of being taken all the way out into space with a pair of balloons, I think it's a pair of balloons with crowns on them. Is special. You got to have a special imagination for that. you know, and the cool thing about it, I know about my brother is, you know, he's always willing to accept what isn't real yet or isn't accepted as the norm, you know. And
I'm so flattered.
you want to talk about someone who got all these colors. The reason why you would expect it is because it's probably you wouldn't put, you know, a lot of light colors and then a lot of pinks and blues and brown. I mean, and oranges and yellows as a masculine color. But Andrew does it so well. He is a free bird, and that's why he says it all the time. I love his pieces, his work.
Awesome.
Peacocking.
That's exactly what I would say. That's the word.
Michelle said, I love the message in this piece. Very imaginative. Michael,
thank you,
what are your
Michelle.
thoughts?
First thing, I want to see this be an animated show, and
I was thinking the same thing, yo. Either animation or a video game.
Yep. I want to play it. I want to watch it. Also, I'm inspired to do a photo series around something like this. Like I'm seeing some balloons and trampolines and whatnot in the studio. So I'm dreaming. Y'all already got me dreaming over here. Also, when I see the crowns, I think of a couple of folks, and I think about how, at least for me anyway, growing up, I didn't really see a ton of representation of Black artistry mainstream. And it was a little bit later when I I learned about people like Lorna Simpson and Basquiat, and those crowns remind me a lot of Basquiat. So I have questions, of course, like, was that inspired by Basquiat at all or anything like that?
I hate to be so pretentious to think that I should put my name anywhere near Basquiat. But I will definitely say that
he believes.
I feel very inspired by Jean-Michel, and that not just that is he is an incredible inspiration for me, no matter what it is, and that's not just that I would say that for. So you know, I guess we're always piggybacking because, you know, Picasso once said, you know, good artists create and great artists steal. So got to be something to do with that, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love it. I love
Thank you.
I love thinking about those photos and everything because they inspire me, and I think about how the kinds of work that you're creating right now is also inspiring other people and everything. So I love the idea that a generation from now, 2 generations from now, there'll be numerous people that people are thinking about. Not that they didn't exist, but they are mainstream and easily recognizable and so that we're growing up like, oh yeah, that's not abnormal. We're not an anomaly to see somebody do some cool stuff. Also, I think, like, see how small the Earth looks from this perspective, if that's the Earth, and how big the sun looks, if that's the sun. And I'm thinking, Hayes is way out in space right now. So it's fun. And when I was like 6 or 7, the first thing I ever wanted to be was an astronaut. And so this is like a lot of my dreams being realized right here. So appreciate the work you're doing. Also,
you know, it's so funny.
Thanks for masking up on that one balloon.
It's so funny. I never wanted to be an astronaut, but I think like one. I guess I'm out there.
I ain't mad at you.
Guys,
that's a scary job to me. That's a scary job.
Also, guys, I want to make sure you are aware that this piece right here is on the is in, what is it, North Florida, Andrew?
Hollywood. It's in Hollywood, Florida. It's on
it's on the ground.
It's a mural on a sidewalk. We painted it in June of 2021, and it is about 6,000 square feet. So it's like really, really long, and it's broken up to really kind of give the city something else to look at, in a place that's up and coming. So I was really honored to be able to actually make this a public piece. Actually, the two of us, sorry. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we both went ahead and put that on the ground. Here's the Hayes brand. But Andrew, if you would, do you know the address of that logo?
Oh, of course. It's 2000 Tyler Street, Hollywood, Florida, and that is between the 2000 and the 2100 block on the south side of the street.
Hollywood, Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
They can go look at that. Dottie said, I appreciate the depiction of the different facial expressions. It gives permission to be whoever that is at any given moment. Love it.
Well, we've got a lot of faces, right?
Definitely. And I that stood out to me as well. Like, blackness is not a monolith, and neither are balloon people either. So
Nope.
it's all good. Deaf Dancer had a question. Was there a time during your journey where you had to take a step back from what you love to do and then found it hard to get back into it? Because life has a way to knock us down hard. And I think both of y'all can answer that question. Thank you.
I'll defer to Matthew first.
Well, I will definitely say yes. As a young man, I was more of a perfectionist in my art. Coming into my 20s, I found, just as my statement says, I found that it was very hard to practice art because it required me to be patient to get better. And so I said, I am already the best I can possibly be. It doesn't matter. Goodbye. And threw it away. It took me 10 years and to pick it back up, and I knew I was great, but I had to peel back the onion and realize it didn't matter if I was great to what I thought I was. I wasn't great. I was just, good as a teenager. And I relearned I stopped and started from foundation and relearned all of my skills during the quarantine. And then I, started back onto the digital, the iPad, and I thought it was an excellent, tool to help me increase my technique. And from there, my work just exploded.
That's what's up.
I like to think that I had a lot to do with that too. You know what I'm saying? But
yes, and
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep. Just.
Excuse me. I'd also like to say
shake any shit up.
I'd also like to say that
let's not do it.
Help me in motivate me to do more art during a time where I was unmotivated to do any art. That's absolutely true. And I did it for him when I wasn't doing it for me.
Well, I would definitely say in a short, yes, it happens to all of us. I think that the easiest way to get past that is just say, shut up, self, and do what you want to do. That's a lot easier said than done, though. So I think that the best thing to do is just, I guess, suspend your judgment of yourself. You know, it's hard enough just getting up and doing something because you love it. Let's not make it harder by judging how good it is. Let's just do it. And that has really been something that's pushed me every single day. I like to say that I am happy, but I'm not satisfied, right? Because I always want to get better. I always want to be the next big thing. I always want to be, to learn from whoever I can, because it's so much fun doing this, right? And when you remember why you do it, I feel like it's a lot easier to want to continue doing it. So like I said, if you know that, then you should chase after the one thing that you absolutely love, even if it means you have to do it in a under restrictions that you otherwise wouldn't want to.
Cool. Thank you. Michelle had a question. She says, so far it seems Matthew and Andrew's artistic expressions are very different. Is this intentional? Were there ever times when the two of you unknowingly created something very similar?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Hands up. I got this one.
Sure, go ahead. Go for it.
All the time. So I think that a lot of the time it's easy to really just get on the same wavelength when you're twins, and that happens so often that we will create things that are that have the similar colors or subject matters, right? Now, also what's really crazy is that I usually I usually don't know when he's getting ready to throw something at me, so or show me a new painting. So what happens is that I get to be as excited. He likes to keep me as excited or as in
outside the loop,
everybody else, So I just maybe get to see it a little bit sooner than the rest, but not by much, So Matthew's a man of mystery, so it's really fun when we actually match up at times. That's really a shocking little paradigm there.
I'll be quick about it. I'm gonna say this: when we were kids, Andrew and I were really into the same things, so we drew a lot of the same things. In art, your style changes. You learn new techniques, and it makes you who you are as an artist. Andrew's can still draw everything that I do, but what has happened in his artistic journey is he's moved forward in this flow towards his what do you call it, his freedom. And when he did that, his freedom opened to the development of this flat style. And me, I moved towards a different, I don't know, minor, realistic, open, eclectic formation of something. I really am still making a decision. And as that is, I find it awesome because we get to work together and collaborate often. But otherwise, like Andrew says, I'm a guy of mystery because I want to stretch myself as an artist and see how far I might go differently, or in the other way now, because we've met so much in the middle that, I want to go. I mean, we want to be different a little bit. That's it.
I get it. I get it.
Complimentary. Everything is always complimentary. It's complimentary, my dear. If you're both the same, then what could we do other than go crazy together?
That's
All
what's up.
right.
I like it. All right, cool. Let's do Matthew's next painting image.
Yeesh.
All right, throw that one up. All right, can we get a full sound? Oh, there we go. All right. So, Sharon, are you there?
Go ahead and tell us about it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so this piece I made really um, to represent growth. I'm My brother's a huge fan of Batman, right? And so I made this to say kind of, hey guy, I love you. So check this out. But but really, I meant to make this about growth. I personally have gone from over the last 4 years of my life, I have stretched from being a very small individual as an artist and to being the king, the Batman. And so I know that there's a long lineage in Batman, so that's the reason why I chose to do this. And on with the outside, I made it very intense on in the idea that I could make it feel as if it's rain, but it's washing off the crazy. Batman is known for the insanity, and I thought that if I could make it look like an X-ray, then it would connect with me personally. I have I am, diagnosed with epilepsy, so I've had to deal with a lot of that. Those I've had to deal with a lot of those MRIs and things in my past. So I've had to read those things. And this right here, I wanted to imitate that in this piece and show it on the page.
Deaf Dancer said, "Yo, that one is bomb." No doubt. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think ditto. That one is bomb. Mic drop. You know what I'm saying? The thing about this piece that I like mostly is it's us against the world, and that is like because of the rain, you can't tell how much is going on behind it. You don't know how we don't know what is next, but we know if we got to go there, we gonna get there together. So I mean, I just look at it as a fierce characterization of unity, and I think it's pretty ill,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my gal.
Sharon, what do you think about this piece?
I would like to hear what you thought first.
No, you go first this time. Ping pong.
Michael loves doing that to me.
Flash.
Right
in your court, Sharon.
This is my no. I do agree that it's very it's filthy. It's very filthy, and I like the detail in it as well, and the complications around it, and the strength of overpowering all of that mess, of being on top of it. And so, um, yeah, I would have thought that this was done by the Marvel universe. Um, that is Marvel, right? Get me
It's
right.
DC.
But
It's DC. But
yeah, them, those people.
Detective Comics, yes, those guys.
Yeah, the other ones. See,
I'm showing my nerd right now, so forgive me.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Blackness is not a monolith. It's all good. Be a nerd. Be you. Be you.
There you go. Why you spitting my bars? Did you read my book?
I read.
I mean, that's what's up, man. Man, you
That's my
got
2
me.
cents.
you guys are gonna make me
Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Him and
I'm coming
Elizabeth,
to join you, honey.
I can't. And Michael, your thoughts?
Oh man, I love. I really appreciate the depth. The first thing that stood out to me was the depth in this, and by that I mean, like, I'm looking at a 2-dimensional image, but it feels like the image is coming forward through the screen and everything.
Right.
So I love that. I love how that contrast and that depth is shown with scale and color and lines and everything. And then I wonder, is the to me the background actually looks like the wings of Batman, like wings. Was that intentional?
Oh, well, what I did, I see that now, and that's amazing. And the great thing about art is when someone looks at your stuff and they tell you something new about it. No, I have never seen that. I mean, I will tell you that is beautiful. I can see it now.
Mm-hmm.
And, that is absolutely true. If someone tells you that, but my interpretation was definitely, as I said, the X-ray and the MRI machines.
Yeah, I see that too. I do see that, but it makes the form of wings to me.
I
So,
see
yeah.
the red. Yeah,
I like it.
That was with it coming down on each other's heads.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use a color to make it look like it was splashing off of another individual.
Yeah, I like it. That's my 2 cents.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate. Like I said, when someone tells me they like my stuff, I say, I appreciate it. No, thank you.
So humble, so humble, so humble.
Y'all are hilarious, man.
No, it's not like that. I'll just say I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning how to be an artist. You understand?
I do understand.
I know have gone professional, but as you go professional, it's just like being in the pros, right? And I'm referring back to basketball again, even though my brother's more of a fan. When it comes down to it, this is my first 2 years.
He's a rookie,
and
he's a baby.
And I'm doing some amazing things. I might have had 2 or 3 20
he's out here. He's out here.
But thank you guys. Thank you so much.
That's what's up. And if you want to connect with Matthew, you can go to his IG page, his Instagram page at Hayes_illustrations, and Matthew Hayes at all the other social media platforms. No diggity, no doubt. Wait a minute, I got some comments over here. Let me go over here and see what they say. Boo, 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 boo.
How do you do that? Did you really do that?
Deb Dasher say, "Amen. Still learning how to be an artist." And did he testify? I found out. y'all are a mess. I love it. Yo, Michael, you had something else?
Something else as far as images, something else as far as thoughts. What you mean?
No, I thought I heard you about to start to say something.
No,
Okay, cool. Thank you, Matthew. Let's move to everybody's eager to get to Andrew's painting that's behind them, but they're gonna have to wait a little while. And let's go to Andrew's next one.
All right, Sharon, go ahead and do your sound effect.
Beep, beep, beep. What's my sound effects?
Yep, that's it.
Beep, beep, beep.
All right, Andrew, floor is yours.
Yeah.
So this is actually another mural that is in the city of Hollywood. It is at 417 and 419. I think that is you. That's 417, 419. I can't remember the name of the street, but it's US 1. So I would love to be able to put the address there shortly. But anyway, this was a really, really great opportunity for me because I was able to give the neighborhood some happiness. It's right next to a railroad track. And what I would like to, what I was trying to do is give the people that are coming down the train something to look at. And this option was really exciting because if you can see here, there's a lot of, in a world of people who are multicolored, if you're white, be yourself. And, so it was really just kind of an exploration of self-interest. And I think that this can be very inspirational to people to really embrace who they are, to really embrace what they want to do, and actually chase those dreams, because there's only one life we have to live, YOLO. And honestly, I think that we should definitely make the most of those times, because life is for living. So yeah, that's what this piece is about.
I love that. I love that. Life is for living. Oh, and Matthew, you have somebody that you need to talk to right now?
Oh my God.
Got caught slipping. Slipping.
I don't normally get it. I apologize. It had something to do with my KIDS. So
we're spelling now. Okay. Are they okay?
Children.
Are they
sorry.
okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So and me being old, I was looking so close to
Embarrassing.
When you get to experience your brother's murals like this one, how does it make you feel? What comes up for you?
Well, I love being a part and seeing Andrew when he does his do murals, with me or without me. The great thing with this piece is that I liked how, he took a large space, such a very large space, and he, compiled he made a way to put his message in it and fill it completely. Just as he said, this is something you want to be you in a space full of, in a space full of different people. You get to be, the majority and the minority. So I really love being a part of his stories. And this one, I think this one proves that he's able to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this makes me happy. Like it just
it should.
It makes me want. It makes me. At first, when I saw it, I was like, "Is this is this a kindy care or somewhere?"
That's everyone thinks it's a daycare. That's yeah.
And I just want to play and have a really good time, yo. And so it's great that people get to see that on the train when they're probably like tired of work or something. Yo, I just got a glimpse of joy.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, people use Instagram for that very same person. Hey, listen, man, I want you to have a day full of love and happiness. You know, go out there because it's a hard time sometimes. And send it, you know.
Just a little bit of light and inspiration.
Yeah.
That's all.
Hey,
That's all.
Hey, Michael, does this inspire you?
No.
Ah,
No.
I
Wow.
love Michael.
Oh, for the love of Michael.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
I mean, I'm feeling these. I'm feeling the stoplight in the windows. That was cool. How you composed that. No. This is a fun piece. I love it. I love it a lot. Like I love the color. It reminds me actually of Nintendo for some reason.
Yeah, it should. It should.
You know, like
It definitely should.
The
yeah,
eyes.
like I like video games and I you know I play PlayStation and Xbox and everything. But there's something about Nintendo that's just fun. It's just
Oh
fun.
yeah.
You know, like I feel like sometimes other things can just be so serious, even especially now with development and everything. So when I look at this and I see this like smiling sun up in the top, nobody can see my mouse, but I'm I'm circling the smiley face on the sun at the top or whatever, or the bubble at the top.
That's the sun.
I say bubble. You say balloon. My fault. Balloon at the top. The BU. I think the BU is special. Like I love that that's a theme all the way through all your work and everything. But yeah, I mean, I can keep going, but it's just gonna be repeating what everybody else is saying. It's fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I love the color, and it's so bright against that. It's like so vibrant against the gray. It's just it. I want to see the rest of the scene. Like it makes me want to go to this spot, to this corner, and just look at the area. And I bet anything that this stands out like nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they painted the sidewalk recently, and so it's really part of a community development project. And I love the opportunity to be part of it. So yeah, I mean, Hollywood is making real strides to really develop their downtown area with art, and I've been lucky to be part of that.
That's what's up. Dev Dancer said, with this piece, I feel like I'm seeing minions staring at me, wondering if I'm going inside or not, then cheer me on afterwards. Laugh out loud.
Hey, that's a way to see it. That's definitely a way to see it.
They are little minions.
Little minions. I can see that. No doubt. Yo, everyone, you know, you can follow Andrew on social media on all platforms at the Hayes brand. So make sure you do that, yo. Make sure you do that. Thank you, Andrew. Matthew, let's go to your next joint.
All right.
He's gonna knock it out the park. I gotta compete. Here it comes. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. That's man.
We're gonna do this one backwards because Andrew is having a feeling about this one already.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, like
Andrew first. Let's go. What does it
so,
come to you?
So you know, this is the bad boy matchup. This is the end of the world. This is oh my God, DEFCON 1. Please, someone come save us. You know, Avengers Assemble moment. This is big dog, because you got Thanos, you've got the Joker, obviously chaos, you know, involved, or just, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Anyway, resurrected. But then you've got further anti-heroes with Scorpion, and it's going to get crazy, because you know this is a flex. This picture is really a flex, and it is beautifully rendered. You know, there's a seamless direction from the background to the foreground, and it's well thought out. So I like this piece. I think that goes without saying. I like this piece.
Matthew, what you think about this piece?
Oh, thank you, Andrew. He had to say nice things.
Hold on. The secret is that we're not actually friends. We just tolerate each other. That's the secret. But that's not true. That's not true.
Well,
Big fan over here. Big fan.
So, yeah, this picture is a piece that
he said it's a beast.
I decided to make when I felt like I was ready to. I've said this before, but to stretch myself further. I had. Oh my gosh, where's my? Oh, there we go. I'm trying to see. Not in the picture. When I did this picture, I wanted, number one, to bring together all of the bad guys together. I'll tell you this, everybody always says that there's, these guys are so bad, but these are the individuals in every universe that everybody loves. They have some form of trauma and tears. You see, Thanos lost his daughter. He had to kill his daughter, for the world to return. I mean, to its very best. In the new Joker, he was laughing at his trauma, and everyone saw him in his pain. And then Scorpion has had to, atone for the murder of his family because of his clan that murdered another clan. So I decided to bring all these people together and see how I could make a strong, powerful piece of what looked like bad boy justice. Real talk. That's what I thought I would do. Bad boy justice, because you got Thanos holding that glove hard, and then I put your boy the Joker in front because everybody expects him to be the holder of the strings. Mm. And the one with the long chain, who's the attacker of the bunch, my boy's, Scorpion, one of my favorite characters of all time. So
Berserker Squad.
You about to say something, Andrew?
Oh no, I'm just
okay.
Flipping and flapping and fiddling and diddling and
I just enjoy
doing my thing.
Fiddling and diddling and flapping. Michael B. Maine.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
Thank you.
That's what's up. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that when people talk about composition and keeping the quote unquote viewer's eyes in the frame, there's so much at work here to do that, to accomplish that. Like, the more I look at this, the more I go, wow, I didn't notice that at first. Well, I didn't notice that at first. I didn't notice that either. So I'm going in circles constantly, seeing new things that I didn't see the first time or the second time or the fifth time. And that's one of those things that makes me really appreciate something, because it feels like it's asking me to really engage with it for a long period of time. And especially for something that's not moving, I think that's quite an accomplishment. Also,
call him the Easter Bunny because he's dropping the eggs. dropping
the egg. Yo, I know nothing about this world other than the Joker, I think. And for me, I can't stop looking at it. Right? I can't stop wanting to know more about it. And like Michael, it's like the discovery. Like I look at it, and first I see all of it, what I think is all of it. Then I start at the bottom and I start making my way across, and I'm like, okay, what else do I see? what else do I, and I'm searching and searching and searching. So like Michael, I can't take my eyes off of it. And me being not into this world, it's like, who are these people? But 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 you got me interested, and so thank you for that, yo. It's
Absolutely.
it's
I
mad.
Yeah, I think that I try to make people look harder for things, and why did I put that there to begin with? You know, I
That's what's up.
it's just my brother actually told me that he was doing that in some of his art before, back in his sketchbooks. He was saying that what he would do is he would just drop little things in his art, just for his either his graffiti or his other work. And then I just thought that from that point on in my art, once I started putting these mashups together, that I would put stuff in there just for people to look for. So it came out well.
Oh,
That's
he's
thanks,
like,
Drew.
I'm so humbled, touched, really, really,
you are touched, no doubt.
always, always. A
Also,
uh,
little bit in the head,
beautiful use
it's crazy.
of those like of white and the jewels and the gold and everything looks. It actually looks shiny for real.
The gauntlet is
and
that gauntlet.
although it's not moving, I feel like it's movement.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
can I feel movement when I see it.
you see like the smoke and the cigarette dancing and everything, and
Yeah.
metallic jewel like the tones and everything. Yeah, there's a lot going on that's really cool. Also, Scorpion was my favorite character in Mortal Kombat.
Mine too. Mine too. Me and Andrew are on that on a regular basis.
What's up?
Who
Hey,
doesn't love Scorpion? Who couldn't
You.
love Scorpion?
You.
I don't dislike Scorpion.
yo,
Andrew.
Matthew's doing some great things, y'all. So, so into his art, help support him. Hit him up on Cash App. Just a gift is always nice to receive as you're doing your work. And if you have Zelly, uh, plug in Matthew Hayes and give him a little token of love and appreciation, of encouragement, no doubt. Yo, okay,
We
I
got bills too. You know what I'm
got
saying?
bills too, man. It's hard out
You know
here
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
streets.
Do the work for free.
Thank you.
uh Andrew, I think this is the one that people have been waiting for.
Is
Uh
it?
Michael, show me what's next.
Is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yes. So first you tell us about it and then I'll go back and get the questions.
It's uh as a young man who was raised by a strong black woman, I feel that, I love strong black women, and it is a beautiful thing to celebrate, you know. And these images really speak to what I think is the heart of our women, I think that there are so many different ways to see a person, and especially in our culture. And I think that this is really, like I said, it's a celebration of that. You've got, again, duality in the top right corner there with the, I call that piece fierce. And that's really just the duality of the black woman. We've got the purity, the innocence, the ambition. We've got the serenity. We've got confusion. There's a number of different emotions that we feel all the time. And I think that these images tell a story. I think that they, again, are a celebration. And most importantly, I think that they allow me to express my feelings of gratitude towards, my own identity, like where I come from. And yeah, I like that. I really do.
My favorites. Um And then I know we have a question up here from Michelle, and it says, what message are you conveying with the piece behind you?
So this is the original of the young girl down in the bottom corner, and I call this piece Hinata, which means princess. It's Japanese, and I know it's kind of. I won't go into the pairing of the language, but more importantly, I love that this is we are we're pairing our children. I'm pairing our children as royalty, as something that they can see themselves representate in representation, right? Because it's really important that we represent ourselves in mainstream pop culture or just in general, right? And I think this tells the story of a young girl who is really, really interested with her own future, and she's really got big ambitions, and it means a lot to me that um, the stare is so piercing, because I think it's really I guess passe to say that eyes are the doorways to the soul, but at the end of the day, doesn't make it not true. So um, I think that's really the part of that piece that is different.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Matthew, what are your thoughts?
Well, as an artist, I know that my brother is very interested and open to, not interested. He's very he loves the Japanese art. Okay, we both do. Asian culture in general. We grew up with it. It was another part of our growth into, as I said, artists. As me, I was into, well, we were both into comic books. We're also into, manga and, anime and things like that. But as he grows older, I see, how Andrew has brought into more of his culture into his art. And when it came down to it, he's gone through it everywhere from, learning the graffiti into learning, and street art into learning more about acrylic and impressionistic, and also, just different uh, touches of each, right? And when it came down to him making this piece, I watched him create it, and I saw him build the background as though he was he was using his skills as a street artist and a what do you call it? He was also doing what do you call that, Andrew? Abstract art. And while he was showing me he wanted to build this piece as a composition of lilies and flowers, but he had to allow it to come to the page, and then he would create this beautiful child, which he then allowed to come to the page. And I think that this piece really, the reason why so many people love this piece, you know, is because it doesn't have to do with humility. It has everything to do with how a part of his. This picture was a part of his truth. He literally, it just came forward from who he is. You know, I know a lot of artists who just draw in order to get practice, and we all do it. Develop our skills. But this picture is one of those pieces that is iconic for him because it showed the growth of his experiences.
Mm. Your brother love you, man.
I you don't usually catch me at a loss for words, Sharon. And so all I can say is thank you so much. Um, it's it's an honor to be able to do what I do every single day and to get a chance to get better at it. So I just love that I am being seen and appreciated for it.
Oh, that's awesome. And y'all don't forget to support Andrew at the Hayes brand on Patreon and PayPal, and the Hayes done on Cash App too. And then Danita said, you are sharing your love, devotion, and gratitude for Mama Danita.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Every single day. Those women raised me. And I love you, Mama Danita. I love you. Seriously. I really do. I really
And
do.
Michelle said, love this collection of beautiful Black women. Awesome. And I say, um, I appreciate the many facets of Black women that you've shown in here, and generationally, multi generationally as well. And I really do, really do appreciate. I mean, I would have to. It would take me hours to go through each one of these paintings and stop staring at them and saying what I think about them. But in the to sum it up, I love it when Black men put their thoughts of Black women on paper and it's as beautiful as this. And so I really do appreciate you for doing that. And Simone says, say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. Yes.
One more time. I'll
Say
say
it
it.
loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. And then
Hey.
Danita says, thanks, Doc. Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Doc. That is awesome. Mike Al, what are your thoughts on the beautiful Black woman on the screen?
It's beautiful work. It's beautiful work. Um, yeah, I'm not normally at this much of a loss of words either. But I'm looking at the images, loving what I'm seeing and who I'm seeing, and I think like the backgrounds are so important to these compositions too. And we had an artist on the show a couple months ago who was talking about how they pay just as much attention to the background as they do the art. I think it was Marin actually. Um, and like the one like the image in the middle, I love how the fish are kind of enveloping the person in the middle, but in a way that's gentle and appears loving and not like attacking. There's no fear that I see represented in the image. Even with the eyes closed and everything, there's a sense of, for me anyway, a sense of serenity and peace uh, in an environment that doesn't have to be peaceful. And so I appreciate that. I also am like when I look through these images, I see a lot of similarities. And then there's something that's special to me about the bottom right young person there. What's the name of that again? What did you say the name of it?
Hinata.
Hinata. Hinata. I think from what I
Princess
can tell,
Hinata, which is kind of a double entendre because Hinata means princess anyway.
right,
So
right.
it's kind of just like princess. And we do that in our culture anyway. We name little man, princess, little PP, stuff like that. So I just figured that, that's a way to connect a lot of things, right?
Yeah,
Precious.
right. There's something special about that piece to me, also because it stands out because that's the only one I see with the eyes open.
That's true.
And they're not just open, but they're open.
Mm-hmm.
And I really
What is
appreciate
she
there's direction, there's a purpose in that gaze, and I appreciate it. So yeah, good work as always. Yeah.
Love it. Um, okay, cool. Michael,
Mm.
how many more images of Matthew do we have?
I think we have one more.
Okay, and
Is
then
there one more thing?
how many do we have left of Andrews?
Two.
Okay, cool beans. And the second one is the what's coming up next, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
And the next one for Matthew is the what's coming up next.
all right. So Matthew, tell us what's coming up next for you right now.
Well, I will say, guys, this is actually a piece of mine that I took very seriously when I made it. I have more coming up next for them. This was actually when I first started doing digital art, taking it seriously after I reprogrammed myself as an artist, and starting from pop stars, what do you call them? Different, just small motion models and things like that. Once I started to do this, I said I need to. I was struggling with trying to find a style. How do I show myself in the world of art? I know I can be good. I just want to be good. This piece actually freed myself is where I freed myself up to make a character my own. This is my favorite. This guy, is Raphael. If you don't know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you better get to knowing them now, especially in my generation. Everybody knows about the four, turtles that became human. So this was my guy because he was a little edgy. He was out of my four buddies. I was the little edgy one, and I just loved his character, loved him. So I wanted to create him as a a model of myself. As we talk about the eyes from the last picture, I was focused on number one when I made this black and white, focused on making eyes. I had really no intention on doing anything else because these guys have these masks on, and if I could make them look like they were intentional, then I was going to do it. When I started to color them, I was able to do it. I was thinking about, again, I have this Japanese reference, how the Japanese artists from in their watercolors from really long, let's just say traditional Japanese artists, they have the bleed of the color move and flow, right? And I thought that I could really do that for this kami, is what they call the turtles, a demon, and make his eyes bleed. So when I did it, this is what came of it, and it allowed me to become an open artist. The first opening of myself as an artist, I'll say that.
And you're smiling, Matthew. What's going on over there? I mean, Andrew, what's going on over there? Oh,
I just like hearing that he's, taking more steps down the road. I like hearing the story because, like I said, we don't always get to ask these questions of each other, and it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear the answers.
So. Awesome. And Matthew, because you're going to start sometime soon a YouTube channel.
That's correct.
Can you tell us something about? Because I feel like this has something to do with how you're going to move into that space.
Yeah. So right now, I'm building a YouTube channel in order as it goes forward for digital arts and their and the lessons behind how to be a digital artist. One of the things is there's two methods of going into being a digital artist, because no matter what, you're going to be a beginner. There are only two ways: is either messily or with some form of technique. And when it came down to that, I just fell in and ran down the mud. I just think that I could help a lot of people who like my work, learn to do it the right way the first time. Because even when you go down through Facebook, YouTube, the all the videos that you look and try to learn something from, they're so quick and fast, and people, they don't do it in the way that you can learn. So this is my way of giving back to the pain that I had.
That's all right. Awesome. So they can just continue to follow you on Instagram and
Yeah,
all
follow
those-
me on Instagram and Facebook. It's Matthew Hayes on Facebook. The actual announcement of this YouTube page will actually be in my Instagram.
Awesome. Awesome.
And and also on the Hayes brand Instagram.
We'll talk about that. Don't worry. We'll talk about that.
So thank you, Matthew. Andrew, what you got for us on this one?
Oh, yeah. So this is about as polarizing as I get. And this is really two sides. It's always duality with me. I guess that was just the card I was played because I came here with another person. But more importantly, this is meanwhile at Karen's. Okay, so what's going on is that there's a young girl who's come to the front door, and she's selling cookies. Okay, and of course, she has no idea. It's her first time. She has no idea who's going to open the door. But of course, it's Karen. And Karen now has some real serious decisions to make, as they always do, because our experience somehow can be threatening. So I wanted to really depict that and to depict both sides of that. And I wanted to make it really bubblegum and really, really sweet, because this is a very bitter thing to take down. We got to be, in order to have conversations, we got to be able to look at it, right? And so it really just speaks to who this person is, or who we are shown that this person is, from the politicizing of everything. And then we get to see that she has a decision to make. And you can tell in her back pocket already, if you zoom in, you'll see that she has 911 on speed dial. And of course, that from the balloons, you can see that it's pretty unsettling. And all she's trying to do is sell these cookies. But of course, in the second image, Karen perceives it to be her, pulling a gun or some other incendiary experience that would put her in danger. So ultimately, I thought that this would be a very interesting way to illustrate that and to share, to let you decide, what you feel about this ongoing discourse in our country.
Mm. Mm. Yes. Power in the arts. What was your thoughts, Andrew? I mean, Matthew. Why am I doing that right now?
It happens all the time. We're used to it. I respond to Matthew. I've learned to. Yeah.
Yes, I am used to being called Andrew. I respond to Andrew, and every time. So I'll say this piece. If I am being as honest as I possibly can, because this is what this show is for, and this is what art is for. Art is meant to, bring emotion to the table. I feel that emotion is energy in motion. This picture does bring forward some unsettling and frustrating feelings. I know that's what my brother was intentionally doing with this piece. And then, of course, as he said, doing it with a bubblegum love. I mean, a bubblegum amount of sweetness. But, I mean, and I say it needs to be said. Personally, I'm not quite sure if I'm brave enough to talk about it. I take that back. I'm not sure if I want to speak that way in those colors. But I think that my brother did a very good job of sharing his truth on this in this page.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Powerful. Definitely the poster child for shaking shit up, and I just appreciate how art can unknowingly, when at first glance you're like, oh, it's a comic, and then you're like, ah, damn,
Right.
he just punched me in the gut.
It's
Okay,
cute though.
it is cute. It's
It's
beautifully
cute.
done. It is well made. It is artistically pleasing. But I love that it is definitely a let me show it to somebody so we can have a conversation about it. Like, look what he did, right? Like type thing. So I really do appreciate that. Michael B. Maine, you have any thoughts?
I do have thoughts. Uh, I'm all about it. This
Bullet.
like this kind of work is how I talk on a regular basis. So yeah,
Revolutionary.
I'm feeling this right here, and I really, I mean, like I keep again. This is one of those pieces that force that is force. It invites me. I choose to allow my eyes to keep bouncing back and forth between the two images because there's subtle differences throughout the frame, and I think it's beautiful how, and I'm sure like you study color theory and all kinds of stuff. So like like we perceive colors differently, and I'm looking at the thing that says like all lives matter, and it's the colors are even different and the books are different, and so to see to have how one panel says meanwhile at Karen's, and then the other one says meanwhile in Karen's mind, and how there's so many little differences all throughout, just encourages me to go, okay, all right, so this balloon is this color in this color in this one. The stained glass is different. The expressions are different. Like the perspective is different. Like you're closer in Karen's mind, and more of a voyeur in the first one. So I'm like, there are all kinds of things like that throughout that I'm just like, yo, this is inviting some for real introspection right here. I really like it. Uh,
Hey, Michael, she's thinner
uh,
she in her mind too.
so yeah, I'll be like, hey, that's cool, and like just there's so much about it. Like the cross is different, and the mirror is different, and all that is different all the
It's
way
a little
through.
darker overall, isn't it?
Yeah, and so
Let's see what
I really like that, and I. Like this is an experience, and I can't speak for all Black people, but I know for me, this is an experience that I have constantly kind of like played in my mind, where I was like, why I thought I showed up like this. Why was I treated like this? I don't
Oh
understand.
yeah.
I don't understand that. Like I'm reaching, like I'm afraid to reach in my pockets for anything. I remember my parents being like, don't you walk out the house with that do-rag on. When you go to the store, don't you put your hands in your pocket. And
All those
this
conversations
stuff
that we
right
have
here.
to have with our kids.
Yeah. And so this is the kind of stuff right here that I think helps invite conversations around stuff that is hard for people to like, that doesn't necessarily just come up in everyday conversation. And so when this happened, and oftentimes also when I say something like this is an experience that I had, people often will say, oh, but no, that didn't happen. Maybe they were thinking this. Maybe they were thinking this. But you're Michael Maine. But you da 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 da. But you were probably driving a nice car, weren't you? And none of that stuff should matter. And I think that this kind of piece invites that conversation where I can just leave this behind and say, okay, you study that, let's talk tomorrow. So yeah,
Mhm.
thanks for this work.
Yes.
I appreciate you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, so inspired. Uh, m- Andrew, you have a new series that you're working on called Joy.
Oh
And
yes, yes.
so tell us about Joy.
So, in my next series of paintings, it's going to really be an experience that is taking what I felt when I painted this initial painting here, and I want to expand upon it. I want to take that innocence of when we were children and really show when everyone is an artist. And everyone is an artist when they're a child. Sometimes you lose that because of whatever your circumstance may be. But I truly believe that creatives and artists are just big kids. So for me, I want to illustrate that joy inside the heart of a child. Additionally, I've been working on um, some really great illustrations for a really fantastic game that's coming out. It's called Funspiracy. Actually, Funspiracy, the first edition, is already available. It's available at introsophy.com. But I've worked really hard on developing the look and the image for this game that is really the game of shocking truths. It'll make you just absolutely squirm trying to figure out what it is that you really believe. So that's from introsophy.com, and the game's called Funspiracy. It's an absolute fantastic time to play. I mean, we just played it the other day, and it was incredible seeing people that you think tell you all kinds of things that you could have never imagined before. So, and then figuring out why they feel that way. So, great game. And the next edition is coming out soon. It's going to be Men versus Women, or the Battle of the Sexes, where we really go into, thoughts of, is that really true for you or is it not? So exposing your truth, and that's available again, like I said, at introsophy.com.
Cool. And I dropped Introsophy into the chat for everyone
Thank you so much.
that wants to check it out. Thank you. And thank you, Matthew, for uh, being that shining light when I came to Virginia and um, not hesitating
Right.
to tell me about you and your brother and your creativity. And I typically I try to me and Michael try to say something very intelligent at the end of the show. We try to sum it up a little bit, but he did it, y'all.
I don't give up.
Uh,
Look at that.
I,
Look at that.
yo,
So that is hayzesbrand.com. You can find all sorts of merch, artwork that I've done, and really just follow and support the brand. We want to project authenticity and genuine feelings of being yourself, and make the world just a little bit nicer than we found it. So thank you so much.
Cool. That is dope. Y'all don't know this, but behind the scenes, right before the show started, I was like, Michael, it'd be nice if we could actually show the website. He was like, don't be asking me for nothing right now. Don't be asking me to. It ain't as easy as it seems. And Michael always comes through. I was like, okay, fine. I was good with not showing it. But he did the daggone thing. That's why I love working with my guy, Michael. Yo,
Clutch came in the bottom of the ninth.
and Andrew,
Bad baseball reference.
you have dropped so many gems tonight. Um, I just want to ask you one last question to end this evening, and I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do, and all you're going to do, and all you will continue to do, and thank you for sharing your time and your art with us. But
Thank
for the community and for the world, what what are some last words of thoughts that you want to share with them either about you and your work or about something that helps them push through?
Well, I really think that there are so many different types of people in the world, and they are all incredible. But no one, absolutely no one, is as incredible as you. So be yourself, because everyone else is taken. That's it.
Go ahead, Matthew. Drop us something. Follow.
Oh, me follow that. Why? No, honestly, I feel that personally, we are all artists of our own life. We create and then we live it. You can't live anything that you don't imagine and build for yourself. So, whenever you have a chance, make sure to bring everything you can to yourself, and then make your mark.
Michael, do you have any last words? Hang tight, Matthew. Andrew. Thank you, everyone.
Make you want to get excited. Leave it at that. Message.
We gonna
Message.
play it one more time.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna play it again. But do you have any last words? First of all, no, seriously though, all jokes aside and everything, those are some powerful words y'all shared, and thank you for sharing yourselves. Thank you for sharing those words. I think is like, yeah, cosign. I don't have anything profound to say. Just mad love and appreciation for what you're doing, what you're bringing, and how you're doing it.
No,
Sharon, you.
I have nothing to say, but like Matthew and Andrew and like Michael, do you
just do it?
Let that creative spirit out. Don't be afraid. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Don't judge.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Deaf Dancer said, "Much love, you guys. Really proud of how far you both have come."
Nice.
Shout out to everybody in the community tonight. Shout out to my mama who couldn't be here live, but I'm sure will watch this. Yeah, shout out to all y'all. Shout out to Virginia. Shout out to Whitby.
For real.
Shout out to Miami though. You know that 305. You know.
Shout out to Miami. Mama Danita. Mama Danita, if you adopting folks, holla at your boy.
No, we got too many brothers. I'm just kidding.
No, just real talk.
Always room for one more in the family.
Watching, you can share this link with everyone and let them continue to watch and hear this goodness. No diggity, no doubt. And check out old episodes of Shakin Shit Up as well, and check out some of the other artists that we have. But it is time to be out. Thank you from the East Coast to the West Coast and between coasts and beyond, because we are worldwide. And don't forget
with that music,
Shakin Shit Up. Drop it. Hang tight. Don't hang up.
Shakin shit up. Shakin shit up. Shakin shit up. Ooh, we shakin shit up. Shakin shit up. Shakin shit up. Shakin shit up. Ooh, we shakin shit up.
look like Hollywood squares, you know, the black